Hi, today we want to show you a new feature we have at Betmix called PP View. When most people start handicapping, they begin by looking at the racing form or their track program, so they're used to seeing all of the horse's past performance information on one page or 2 pages or 3 pages, and they can kind of flip back and forth and compare one to the other. And that's not how we envision Betmix, but we understand that some people are used to seeing that and they still want to have that ability to go back and compare one horse to the other. Right now in Betmix, to see horse information, you click on the horse's name and it pops up individual past performances, so you can see a snapshot of what this horse has done, but not in comparison to the other ones. You kind of have to scroll through one by one. And to kind of accommodate people that are used to doing it that way, we decided to build a PP view, but we also wanted to make it better than anything that's out there and give you more options on how you want to see that data and slice it and dice it and be able to manipulate it just like you can right now with the regular tools we have in Betmix for ranking on factors. So we've kind of turned this PP view on its head a little bit. When you click on this, you're going to see all of the horses on one screen, and this is the kind of information you would see when you click them individually, but now you're looking at them all in one group. Everything's color coded on the running lines just like it is on the individual ones, so that you can see horses go from red to green, red being farther back in the race and the greener it is being on the lead or near the lead. Each one of these columns is sortable, so any one of them can be clicked, and I'll show you. Let's just click on date and you can sort it by most recent or farthest back. So let's look at the most recent. And so now you can see everything is kind of out of order now, but we're looking at the races sorted by date. So the most recent race on top, that happens to be number 7. We can sort by track. You see everything at Aqueduct and then down to Belmont, and then the other tracks underneath that. We could sort by the start position. The first call, second call, stretch, finish, jockey. Every one of the columns is sortable. Now this is pretty useful if you're, just say you want to see who has the fastest race. You can sort it by speed. You can click multiple things. You could say, all right, I'm going to sort by speed first, and then if you hold down your shift key, you can't see me doing that, but I'm holding my shift key, and then I'm sorting by distance. So it's going to go from speed to distance on the sort. This reset button up here, this gets everything back to its original state. So you can mess around with the sortings on the columns, but then you can always get back to its original state by clicking reset. Now all that stuff's really useful and interesting, but where it gets really nice is when you use the search bar. Any piece of information that's in a column can be searched on, and you can search on more than one thing at a time. So let's say we're looking at Belmont Park, July 3rd, race 8. It's 6 furlongs on the dirt. If I go to the search bar and search on what I see in the distance column, I want to just limit what I'm seeing to 6 furlongs, so I type 6F. Now all I'm seeing are 6 furlong races. Everything else has been stripped away. You can see down here at the bottom that it's showing 38 entries now out of the original 74. So 38 of the 74 races in this group of horses' past performances were run at 6 furlongs. I could add distance, anything I wanted here, but let's just say, all right, this is 6 furlongs on the dirt. Let's do 6 furlongs dirt, and that's going to strip away all the turf races. And it's at Belmont, so let me add Belmont into the search there. Now I'm looking at only 13 races. So of these 74 races, 13 of them had been run on Belmont, 6 furlongs on the dirt. Now I can sort the current results by speed, and I can see that number 6 has the 3 fastest races, 6 furlongs on the dirt at Belmont. Pretty useful. Again, I could sort by any one of these columns, and I could see that, well, the 8 is probably going to take the lead here. The 8 or the 6. Who's going to be running in the stretch? I can see that. I can sort by jockey. Anything you want to do here. Now you can clear all that by clicking the little X over here in the search bar, and everything is cleared. Let me go back to reset. Let's see if I want to, if I wanted to look at jockeys and say which jockey has ridden multiple horses in this race. Let me just type Arroyo. You know, you can just do a few letters at a time. So I've got Arroyo showing up here, and I can see that he's ridden the 1 and the 5. So the search bar is very useful. You can really quickly analyze a race and strip away everything that's not important and sort by things that are. If you wanted to see which horses maybe were coming out of mile races, I just type in 8 furlongs and I see that. And by date, again, the 1 very recently ran a 1 mile race in the dirt. Let me just go ahead and get this back to normal. And I think what I think is the neatest feature we have here is a thing called head-to-head. You can see this button up here, and what the head-to-head button allows you to do is strip out everything in this race other than races where horses have faced each other in the past. So when sometimes you're looking at a race, you want to know who's raced against who in the past and how did they fare, and you see that more often than not, but sometimes it's kind of tricky to find that. You have to go through each one of those lines and maybe circle the date and say, all right, did the 2 beat the 1, or did the 1 beat the 2, or how's that worked out? Well, if I click the head-to-head button, now what I'm looking at is only those races where horses have run against each other in the past. So let me zoom in here, and you can see that we have these races are grouped by date, track, and race number. So right now I can see that 4 horses raced against each other on June 11th at Belmont. They were all in race 9, and they're sorted by finish position. So the 7, Jen's Miracle, beat the 3, the 8, and the 5. If I go down here to the next grouping, which is February 1st, the 3 beat the 5. Those 2 raced against each other on the 23rd of January, and again the 3 beat the 5. So 3 times they've run against each other, the 3 has beaten the 5. I don't know if it'll be any different today, but doesn't look like it would be. So these are grouped races now. You can see that there's the 6 has raced against the 4 and beaten the 4, the 6 has beaten the 1, the 5 has beaten the 3 several times, and the 7 has beaten the 3 and the 8. So that's very helpful information. You can do that on any of the races. Of course, sometimes, you know, in the maiden races and other races, you're going to find situations where none of the horses have raced against each other, but in races where they have, it's extremely valuable to look at that. You can see at a glance, just by looking at the kind of the race conditions there, if things are going to change today. So you know that these things were maybe, well, most of these were at 6 furlongs. So we're looking at races that are pretty similar to today's conditions. They were on the dirt. They were 6 or 5.5 furlongs, so very close to what we have today. So this would be a good indication of who's capable of beating another horse in this race, or if what's happened in the past. So again, this is a very powerful tool. I'm sure you guys are going to come up with a lot of different ways to use it. You're probably going to tell us a lot of different ways we can make it better, and we're very anxious for that to happen. This is kind of our first take at it. Everything's ready to go on each race page with individual races. So I look forward to hearing your comments on this and any suggestions that you might have on how we could improve it. Again, I can't stress how useful this is going to be to you once you get the hang of it. If you have any questions about it, just be sure to email, and we look forward to hearing about all the pick 3s, pick 4s, and pick 6s you guys hit using this, and wish you the best of luck. Talk to you later.